Hey everyone, and welcome to IG Live Esports. This evening we're live with Rapid Pixel Racing, the GP-2 division, currently for round 9 of 22, and it's going to be for the Canadian Grand Prix. Going to be quite an interesting session. We got 18 drivers already on the grid here, getting ready to get started with our short qualifying session before we get straight to the 50% race. So our timer started already. We got a few cars starting to head out on track, and as you guys are getting on the stream, welcome to the stream, guys, and please make sure you guys do leave a like on the stream just to support the channel as well. And remember, if you're new on the channel here, make sure you subscribe. We got a lot of races going on during the course of a week, guys, and just having a look now, it looks a bit just a bit cloudy here in the session so far as we're getting started. I'm not sure if it's going to be raining or not. I'll probably get some information from the drivers a little bit later on in the session before the end of qualifying. Hopefully we'll know if the race session is going to be wet or dry as we get on through here right now. We got quite a few drivers getting out on track at the moment and getting started with their out laps, and they're going to get started with their hot laps pretty soon, so we'll start to see some lap times here pretty quickly. Since it's really not too long of a lap around here, usually a range from like about a minute 10 seconds, a little bit under, or maybe a little bit over as well. We'll see how fast these guys are going to be going around this track. So we're getting a few stats up on screen here at the moment, so we can have a look at what's happening exactly during this qualifying session. We can see the tires that these guys currently are running on. There's a bit of a mixture right now, as they're just getting started, just trying to get a feel out on track, see what it's like at the moment, see how much grip is out there before they might decide what strategy they're going to be running in this race here. But let's work with that for the moment here, and we're going to follow on with a few drivers and see how their laps are going to go here, because it's a pretty stacked grid we have, just 2 drivers short of a full grid. And as we're going on that, let's see who's going to be the first driver here to make any sort of lap time. I think there's a Williams out in front of Frac F1 there, but let's have a look at our grid lineup as it is right now. So we got Scotty, we got Johnny Stokes lining up there, we got Frank F1, Big Irish, we got Darson, I got Lister, I got Lewis, a new name probably on for me, I think. Jennifer there, we got Doiji, Barry Burbs, we got Woolly Mammoth, we got James Owl, Night Sniper, Crooksy there, Rob, we got Mass Baron, Raceway, and Love Hit Games. Majority of these names I think we're all familiar with, as we do these races every Friday here at 10 p.m. British time, and it's about 5 p.m. Eastern time on my end. So we're just getting started, just maybe a few minutes late in the session today, but we're still on with everyone in the session. So just 18 drivers in, should be quite an interesting race start. Not a very long run getting down into turn 1. As we can see, Frank Kerfan has invalidated his current lap. Let's get on to Scotty here. So he's invalidated that lap there as well. Who else is running here? We got Big Irish invalidated as well. Darson here running in a Ferrari, currently in sector 1. That's he said I think going to be purple, as no one's made a lap time as yet. I'm probably going to follow on through with him and see how he gets through this lap here and see what's... Oh, we got Doiji bringing in a lap already at 109.993, so a pretty good lap there from Doiji so far. Then we got Love Hate Games, goes at 111.8, not too bad with the lap time so far there. Let's see how that gets on with the rest of the session. Aljudifa going 112.1, really not too bad. So a few more times about to start coming in here pretty shortly, as we got Darson getting up into sector 3 here right now. So let's see where he's going to go on the grid. We got James going 111.9. We got Lewis going 111.4. Rob gets in, Barry gets in as well. So quite a few lap times coming in very quickly here. We're gonna see how these guys stack up next to each other, how close the lap times are exactly, and what sort of competition we're gonna have on the grid when we get started with this race. It looks pretty interesting so far, with a few 109s, 110, and then we get the 111s, all pretty close off together, just a few tenths off, about a tenth or two off, and a few hundred of a second might be the difference between them when we do get further to the end of the session. Getting on down, let's see where Johnny Stokes is. He's invalidated that lap he's currently running on. Getting down to the rest of the grid, we got Mass Baron running at the back here, invalidated that lap as well. Raceway is invalidated as well. Quite a few drivers invalidating their laps here at the moment, so having a bit of a difficult time getting a good lap done here at Canada. So let's see how the rest of the grid gets through, as we're trying to follow off with someone going through. Oh, we got Frank Efron doing a purple sector 1, I think that was there. He's currently running sector 2 going on in that Red Bull. Let's see how he finishes this lap, and hopefully he can get maybe into a top 5 for the race start by the end of this session. We got just about 13.5 minutes left in qualifying right now, but it's going pretty well so far, I gotta say. Barry currently holds on to the fastest lap in this session, so provisional pole start for him if he can keep that 109.727 there. But of course, James Owl in second right now with a 109.799, just about That's about about 700 of a second, sorry, 700 of a second time difference between the two of them. Big Irish here in P3 right now at 109.852, 110 slower than James. Doji currently P4 at 109.993, another 10 slower. Darson P5, 110.257, just a few 10 slower there as well. So pretty close off with the lap times there. Frank Efron just goes P6 with a 110.386, and that's about a 10 slower than Darson. Rob there, first 111.4 that we have on the grid. So let's have a look at the rest of the drivers. Are they getting another lap in or not? Following on with Raceway here right now, going through another lap on Sector 1. Let's see if he's going to get through pretty well on this one or not. We got a few more drivers on outlaps. We got Scotty and Crooksy both on an outlap. Where is Crooksy right now as he's getting through first sector of the track? I think Scotty might have just got started with his lap. So we'll probably just have a look at Crooksy maybe when he gets around to getting that full lap done. We'll probably do an onboard view with Crooksy's car to see how he gets through that lap, and hopefully he avoids an invalidation on that one. There's 12 minutes left in the qualifying session right now, going pretty well so far. So let's see how the rest of the session progresses on through. We got our purple sector 2 there, I think, from Raceway, so he's doing pretty well on the lap so far. Hopefully finishes off sector 3 on a pretty good note and may be able to get it into maybe the top 6 or 7 on the grid at the moment, where the lap times as is they are. We got about half of the drivers already making their lap times in, so just a few more lap times to come in, and we can see what exactly is going to be happening. As we get maybe another 5 minutes down in the session, we'll be able to see a few more competitive laps. We got quite a few 109s so far though, pretty competitive out front of the grid, I gotta say, and that's a 110.471 there from Raceway. Puts him up in the 7th for now. Let's get on to Crooksy here, who's getting started with his hot lap right now. We're going to have a look on board with him as he gets through his hot lap here around Canada, and let's see if he's able to avoid an invalidated lap and maybe get maybe into the top 3. He's a pretty fast driver in this league, so expect a pretty good lap from him. Already getting a purple sector 1 as he's getting through there. Let's see how the next 2 sectors are going to go for him. Everyone seems to be getting out of the way as they usually would, just allowing cars on their hot laps to get through. Oh, yes, a little bit too much on that curb and lost that lap there, so that's an invalidated lap for Crooks. He's gonna have to try that once again. Where did Scotty go so far? I know he was doing a lap earlier on. I'm not sure where he is at the moment. Let's have a look and see if I can see where he is. Oh, he's on P1 right now. I actually didn't notice that. So Scotty went fastest on this session so far at 109.260. Pretty good lap there. At least 5/10 faster. So let's see where his teammate, where is his teammate? Johnny Soaks, I think, is his teammate here. There he is. He's running a lap here right now, I think. So let's have a look and see how this lap is going to finish, as he's about to finish off sector 3 in just about 10 to 15 seconds or so. And we can see where he's going to go on the grid and put that car, and hopefully gets a pretty good start as his teammate is getting here right now. 10 minutes still to go in this session, so still just half of the time left. And puts it in second place, just behind his teammate at 109.272. That's literally just about 100th of a second time difference between the two Alfa Romeo drivers here. So pretty competitive out front, especially between teammates here. So that's actually quite impressive, I gotta say, for Scotty and Johnny there, getting those lap times in. And let's see how that's gonna work with the rest of the grid, making a bit faster lap times as we get to the end of the session. We got Crooks, he's gonna have to try again. Night Sniper already validated that lap that he's currently running. We're on with Lister right now, as he's getting to the end of this lap, I think here. Let's see if he's going to finish, and he's going to finish this lap. And let's see how fast this lap is going to be for him. Seems to be a pretty good lap going so far. Gets into the 110. 110.115 goes into P7 with that, so not too bad so far as the grid stacks up. I think Rob just went, no, not Rob, someone just went 11th. I think Al-Judfa there went 110.7 for 11th place. And let's go back down to the rest of the grid here right now. And we got Masbaron getting back on an outlap here at the moment, so he's going to try to get another lap started, which he's, is he doing that right now? So no, he's not going to be on this lap. He's going to have to try that again. We're on with Night Sniper as he continues on with his lap at the moment. Let's see if there's going to be any improvement as he finishes off that current lap there. But yep, speaking about the Alfa Romeo drivers, pretty good off in qualifying so far. They're having a pretty good time here. Seems like they had a lot of practice on this track, getting prepared for this race. So hopefully good starting position results and a good finishing position for them. But of course, we still have about just under 8.5 minutes left in this qualifying session. So still yet a lot of time to go before we get to the end of qualifying and get off straight to our 50% race. But Let's see how fast these guys can get some faster times in. And it's looking pretty good so far with our 109s going to a 111. Just about a 2-second difference between lap times from P1 to P14 so far. Just nice better than what 13's there. I'm quite sure he's going to try and improve that in just a bit there as well. So let's get back down and let's see who else is currently. I think we have a few drivers in the midfield running. Is Frank Efron running a lap right now? Definitely seems like he is in that Red Bull. Currently down into 9th. Let's see if he's able to improve from his 110.386 there in he's in 9th, right? So let's see if he's going to improve that position or not, as he's in sector 3 right now, about to finish his lap. Not sure if he did a proper sector on this current lap that he's running, but let's see how this end of the lap goes. Alright, so he's about to get across the line here right now, and let's see, a 110.386. And goes faster, goes into P3, just behind Johnny Stokes with a 109.280. That is literally about 0.08 of a second time difference between these two guys. So that is actually quite impressive. So we're getting extremely fast with these lap times, and actually when I say fast I mean just extremely fast and very competitive with how close these guys are, because Scotty and Johnny Stokes are just about a 100th of a second off of each other. Johnny and Frank Efron are just about 0.08 of a second off of each other, and then about a 10th or 2 as we go down the rest of the grid. So very competitive out front, and it's still only just under 7 minutes left in qualifying. Still a lot of time for these guys to try and get a better lap in. Let's see if where is Mass Baron right now? Is he gonna go in and have these tires changed? I'm not sure, but let's see if he's going to be doing that or not. Love Hit Games running a lap here as well. I think let's go on to Uncle Doiji here. Oh, he's invalidated that lap. James here running a lap. Let's have a look at James Al as he's working on this lap right now, running in sector 2 there. We're about to get into sector 3, so let's see if he's going to get a pretty good lap going. Not a purple sector 2 unfortunately, but still could be a pretty good lap. Just give him a chance to finish off and see how that lap is going to go. Okay, so let's follow on with Darson here now. Let's see how his lap is currently going. So currently James is currently holding on to P5 at a 109.799. As we can see, these lap times are extremely close off to each other. So let's see how the end of qualifying is going to look with the grid as it's going to be. We got top 7 cars right now on the field there with all in the 109. So just very close off of each other. It's about a 10th or a few hundred of a second off of those times. We now have 8 cars, I think, into the 109s there, rest of the grid into the 110s, 111 and 113. So looking pretty good for the race starting. Let's have a look at Crooksy down at the bottom here. He's invalidated that lap again. So looking like it's a bit difficult for these guys to get a really good time going here. Oh, we got Darson just took away a provisional pole there with a 109.235, and now Johnny Stokes takes it away with a 108.965, getting extremely competitive out front with the grid as it is right now. So we're getting close after the end of qualifying. We just about 4.5 minutes left here right now. 108.965, extremely impressive lap time there from Johnny Stokes. Darson goes into second place now with his 109.235, just about 300 of a second faster than what Scotty did. He's currently in P3 with his time 109.260. Frank Efron currently holding on now to P4 with a 109.280. That's another about 200 of a second time difference between, exactly 200 of a second time difference between them. Masbaron currently with a 109.681, about another 400 of a second there. So pretty impressive so far. Sorry, about not 400, about 4/10 slower. So still a pretty impressive lap. All in the 109s going down to Doherty there, and then we get a 110, which is a pretty high 110 as well. So pretty impressive lap times as we get on through the session. Let's see who else is currently running a lap here right now. Barry doesn't seem to be running one. Frank Efron is getting on an out lap here right now, I think, or is no, he's invalidated just at the end, so he's gonna not be able to finish that lap. Let's have a look, see if Barry is about to get on another hot lap here or not. He's currently in P6 with a 109.727. It's a pretty good lap time, but I'm quite interested to see if he's able to push this further and get it way ahead. Hey gamer, welcome to the stream. Very happy to have you in here again. And don't worry, I'll be updating the channel memberships settings that we were talked about a little bit later on this evening. I did run out of time. I got a bit busy, a bit caught up in a few other things. I didn't get that done, but we'll definitely get it done this evening, so you can have a look at that. And we'll have a chat as well later on in the evening. So yeah, as we were saying, we're getting very competitive with the front of the grid as we have it right now. We can see top 8 drivers all in the 109s and pretty close off of each other, so it's quite interesting to see how this session is going to end off. Unfortunately, Big Irish has been disqualified from the qualifying session, so he'll not be able to make a lap time in here, so he'll be starting down there in 18th to the back of the grid. We still got 2 more drivers yet to make lap times in, and quite interested to see how much more competitive this grid can actually get at this point here right now. With these lap times being extremely close off, it's going to be quite interesting to see what that race start is going to look like. Alright, cool, no problem. That is good to hear. I was wondering if it was going to allow you to change it or not, but it should be fine with that way. Alright guys, let's keep an eye, see what's happening here. So currently, let's see who else running a hot lap. And where is Doiji on track right now? I think he might be trying to get another lap in. Yeah, the quality should be way better now with the stream. The bitrate should be back up to normal as it should be. It's just an issue because I usually don't restart my PS4 that off. I usually just keep it. Network issue as well going on that caused that, so the restart did actually fix that. I just made sure when I got the stream started, so we're good to go on this end, and it's much better having non-bubbly stream to watch, because I hate having the bitrate so low. It's really annoying to watch it that way as well. Lewis here, driver we haven't really followed in this session so far. Let's see where he is. Currently in sector 1 running a hot lap here. I think he's running a hot lap. I'm not sure. It doesn't seem to be going excessively fast and flying around, but let's have a look to see if he's going on a pretty good hot lap or not. Frank F1 has retired from the session. Just about 1 minute left in qualifying here, guys. We got a few drivers trying to get out on track right now. We got Johnny Stokes and Darson out front. They're getting back out on out laps. They're going to try to improve those lap times as they have it there right now. Darson looks like he wants to start in P1 on this race, and let's see if that's going to be able to, if he's going to be able to get that done. I'm not sure because it's a very close lap time out front. Actually, let's get on board with him out front to see what's happening with that lap that he's currently running here, because he has a 109.235 and he's really trying to get ahead of Johnny Stokes there. Do you have your own league? No, I do not have my own league game. I once actually did try to start a league when I first got into streaming and commentary and that kind of stuff. That really didn't work out too well because I really knew nothing about starting a league at that point. Oh, and that's Doichi's car. He's out. He crashed that out there. Yeah, I really didn't know anything about starting a league at that point. A few drivers still would remember when we actually did try to get that started going. That was a big fail. But I might be starting one a bit later on, maybe closer to when we get to the release of F1 2021. But that's going to be... there are going to be a lot of restrictions to that league if I do get another league started, and it's going to have to be on a day that I can do the commentary for it, and we might have some... It might be a sponsored league, so... I'm trying to get that set up. I'm actually trying to work to that. I just never said anything about it because I'm trying to work on that in the meanwhile. We continue on with the commentary. Oh, and a big contact with the wall invalidates that lap for Darson there. Not able to get that. And as we were speaking, Cooksey went fastest in the session at 108.773, 2/10 faster than Johnny Stokes. So he holds on to that provisional pole time right now. Unless anyone else who's currently running, which I think is Al Judifer right now, and Night Sniper, and he's not going to be making a lap time. I think Night Sniper is the only driver still running on track. He might be able to make a faster lap time, but will he be able to make a time to put himself on provisional pole here? I'm not sure. Yes, I saw the message that you sent me about the 50 FPS, but I didn't get to have a look at that as yet. But I'm gonna have a look after I finish this stream. I'll have some time after that to have a look at a few things. And yeah, later on this evening I will be looking into the other stuff for the channel that I have to take care of. But I have to check that out the way you're telling me about them. And everyone joining on the stream, guys, welcome to the stream. Please, guys, make sure that you do leave a like on the stream. Gamer, please leave a like on the stream. I'm quite sure you didn't as yet. So everyone, please leave a like on the stream when you're joining on. It literally takes you a second to just click on that like button. Really appreciate it. Helps YouTube share our video out a little more as well when you guys do that. And remember, if you're new on the channel, make sure to subscribe for all of the future races that we have upcoming here as well. And remember, guys, tomorrow, what time is tomorrow? Tomorrow is Saturday, guys, so I do not have any stream scheduled for tomorrow. due to my work schedule as it is. But Sunday coming, we are going to have 3 straight. Sorry about that, guys. Yes, so let's have a look at our qualifying results there. So starting grid as it is, we got Crooksy starting P1. Johnny Soaks is going to start in second. Darson starting third on the grid. Scotty in fourth. Frank Efron in fifth. Doiji 6. James 7. Masburn in 8th. Barry in 9th. Lewis 10th. Lister 11. Rob in 12th. Raceway 13. Aljudifer 14. Love Hate Games 15. Night Sniper 16. Willie Mammoth 17. And Big Irish there is going to start in 18 because he was disqualified from the qualifying session there. We got Johnny in the chat for Raceway for the win. Let's see how that's going to work out for him. Hopefully it does. Yeah, I had to just turn the mic off for a second just to check on something, guys. So sorry about that. Yeah, so we're all good and we are ready to go. As we said, make sure you guys leave a like on the stream. Don't forget to do it. And no, I do not have F1 TV. I told you before, I don't have F1 TV. This is my F1 TV. Esports races. It's a lot more fun. Okay, so we're just waiting for the guys to get our setups in, and so we get started with the formation lap and the race session here. Alright guys, and they're off on their formation lap there right now. So it's going to be a 35 lap race around Canada here. So it's going to be quite an interesting 35 laps as well. Remember, it's just about just over a minute for a lap. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. Still about a 45-minute session for the race session as it usually is. You guys know how that usually works. So we already went through our grid as it is. We're going to have everyone go around the track just one time to see if they can get their tires up to temperature. Just make sure everything is good. And look at the pit strategy as we have it there. Looks like it might be mostly a 2-stop pit strategy for drivers on the track. Some drivers might be doing a 3-stop. We'll see how that works out for them. Let's get lap data on. We'll put telemetry on a little bit later on in the session. Let's have a look at tires as they are. Our top 10 drivers are going to be starting on the soft tires. We got Lister in 11 starting on the hards. Rob and Racer 12 and 13 starting on the soft tires there. We got the mediums for Aljudifer, Love Hit Games, and Night Sniper. And Wooly and Big Irish Young at the back on a pretty interesting strategy of starting on the soft tires as well. Let's see how this strategy is going to work out for these drivers here as we are about to get started with the race pretty soon. We're going to keep that in position changes as we usually do, just so you guys can have a look at how the grid changes as we get started on the race session itself, because I'm going to try to keep the camera angle to focus as much as I can on all the cars as they get on through the first 2 to 3 turns, so we can see if any major incidents are about to happen or not. I don't know if you guys have any prediction for this one here, but let's see how it goes, because I think it's going to be interesting for the race start, getting through turns 1 and 2. We might have some minor contact. Actually, we're definitely going to have some minor contact between cars, but is there going to be any major contact for this race start? I'm not sure as yet, but we'll see how it goes. It seems to be quite an interesting grid, as always here with these guys for GP2, but let's see how it goes. We are going to have the GP1 division starting pretty soon, not this Monday. I think it's the next Monday. They're starting with their first race. We're going to be live with that, so look forward to that, guys. Guys, hopefully we're not having any sort of glitch. We're just waiting. Oh, there we go. So we're about to get started here right now. That is okay, gamer, no worries. Alright guys, let's get started. That's 5 lights. And that's out. Let's go. Let's see if Johnny gets a good start on Crooksy getting into turn 1. So far, so good. Crooksy gets away pretty well. Let's see how the rest of the grid is going through as our Red Bull is getting by and trying to get ahead. We got an Alfa Romeo going just a bit low height. Down in the back of the grid, trying to have a look at what. Oh, we got a Ferrari spinning around and into contact with an AlphaTauri down in the back of the grid as well. And we'll try to figure out who that is in just a bit as we get on through the rest of the. Oh, we got a virtual safety car for that incident. Absolutely no overtaking here right now. The grid is entirely mixed up on the leaderboard, as you can see there. Just ignore that for now, guys. Quite an interesting start. We barely caught that incident down at the back there. What happened? So let's see who's going to be pitting under the VSC right now, because it's going to be pretty interesting to see how this works out, because we know there's going to be a pit stop or two happening because with the incidents down in the back. And that was Night Sniper's, I think that was his AlphaTauri. Yep, definitely a lot of damage on that car. And Raceway, I think, was the Ferrari involved in that there, as he has some damage on his front wing as well. So those two cars had a bit of an incident down on the race start there, as we could have seen. We're still on lap 1 going through, not... don't just want to worry about that because it says lap 2, but that's just the weird part of it. So Crooksy still continues to lead out front with Johnny Stokes apparently in second running, and we got Frank F running third at the moment. He's up 2 positions in this race so far. We get Dawson running second, 1 position down. He was the guy who started there in third, and that VSC is officially over. We're back racing again. Let's see how this goes after that bit of restart there. So we got Johnny very close after Crooksy out front for the lead of the race. They're going pretty good for that, and I think Crooksy is going to try and get a bit of a gap going if he can. We'll see how that works out for him. Down there in the midfield, we have a bit of a train of cars going through right now, all the way from Darson going all the way down, I think, to Doiji there in 9th. So try to keep an eye on that as it goes through. Darson getting pretty close off to Frank Efron in the Red Bull in front of him. So he's trying to get that. Oh, well, we got a bit of issue with James. Almost losing the rear end of the car, as you saw down at the back there. And he's caught that back. And he's still going again. So let's see if he's lost some time. Actually, Scott is gaining a bit of time, yes, on him getting through there. And he's gaining at least about 2 or 3 tenths and continue on through so far. So Scott is gaining a bit of time. He might have lost it back. I'm not sure. We're still following on right now with Darson here in the Ferrari in P4. As he continues to chase after Frank Efron for the final podium position that exists in this race. Let's put on telemetry here on right now. I'm going to switch this off over to tires as we have it, so you guys can have a look at what's happening on track here right now. Going back to Scotty there in P6 as he's chasing after James in P5. Let's see how that battle is progressing on through, as we got on the pit stop by Frank Efron. He might have taken some damage from that race start, so I assume that's why he's doing a pit stop there right now as we get on through the rest of the race. Going pretty well so far. Johnny Stokes takes a pretty close gap that he has currently between him and Crooksy. He's continuing on with that, and he's going to try to catch him as much as he can. He's having a bit of a difficult time though, breaking that gap further down as it is right now. Let's see if he's able to get it under about 1/4 of a second and maybe get a closer gap to try and get an overtake done on Crooksy. Because we're going to have, we have it already. We have DRS online already because we're in lap 3 going through up 35. And let's see if that DRS advantage is going to help Johnny Stokes to get ahead and maybe get away with the lead of the race if possible here. The rest of the grid seems to be pretty close off as well. Going on to Love-Hate Games down in the back here. Going side by side, I think, with Aljudifa. They're trying to get that position up. Let's see who gets out in front. Looks like Love-Hate Games is going to get the position up. And a bit of, I think, some minor contact between the two of them forced Aljudifa a little bit off track. But he's gotten back on the track again and he's gotten going. Unfortunately, Woolly Mammoth has gotten up to him down in the back there. He's gonna have to be a bit careful about that because that Racing Point is definitely looking to get by and might be able to on this straight. Because if he will have the DRS advantage, so that definitely is going to help him out there. We got Deutsche and Lewis, I think, switch positions, as well as Rob and Lister there. So a bit of action happening out front as well. Let's see if this is going to be an overtake happening. No, he's going to have to hold it there for now and not risk it. And then we're going on to Lister there in P11. Down the pit straight they go here right now. He's chasing after Rob for P10, and he's going pretty well so far, I got to say. A bit of a yellow flag there in Sector 1. That's over with already. So both Renaults running in front of Lister there in the Mercedes. And let's see if he's able to catch or maybe split them off. But let's see who's going to be the faster Renault driver, because Rob seems to be catching up right now to his teammate out in front. So let's see if that's going to be a switch between Renault drivers or not. Out in front, Lewis and Masburn. Masburn is falling down the order a bit for some reason. Might be having an issue out front. As you can see, his car just a bit up front for a second there. He's chasing after Doji, trying to get a position up. Let's see if he's able to get that position or not. Maybe had a bit of a issue with the rear wheels. I'm not 100% sure as yet. Out in front, Johnny Stokes still about half a second behind Crooksy for the lead of the race, and that's going to continue on as it is there right now. I don't think any changes happening with that. Actually, he's getting a bit closer out in front, so let's have a look and see how that gap is working, because it's going and coming just a bit, but Johnny is having the DRS advantage, using a bit of that with maybe a little bit of overtake if he can, and Crooksy here has a lot of overtake to work with, so he does have that advantage to use if needed at any point in this race. So let's see if he's going to be choosing to do that or not. Going back down to Lewis here, chasing after Dorji in the Red Bull in P6, looking for get an overtake done, but he's going to have to keep that gap as close as he can. William Hamilton to the pits. They're falling down the order just a bit because of that pit stop. Let's see how that's going to work out. Currently on lap 5, guys, of 35 as we get on through with the Canadian Grand Prix for Rapid Pixel Racing GP2 division here. And we're currently following on with Lewis. He's chasing after Doherty, but Gap is going away from him in just a bit. We got Mas Baron is catching up to him there pretty closely. So let's see how that gap is going to close off as he continues to get much closer here right now. And Lewis getting onto the dirt just a bit, losing a bit of time there as well to Mas Baron in the McLaren down just behind. So far so good out front with Johnny Stokes and Crooksy. They're keeping a bit consistency between their racing that they have going on with each other. Oh, and we got the McLaren trying to get off on the inside, but lost just a little bit of time. They're trying to pull that move off. Trying to get front. He's getting a 3-second penalty there right now. Currently running a P14 in this race. This started out pretty high out front. I think he took some damage in the race, which is why he had to do that pit stop early off in the race. But so far so good. Let's go on down to Lister here and Big Irish, who's chasing after each other, as well as Rob just in front of them. And we do have Rob chasing after his teammate here. So let's see how that battle is going. And it looks like he was trying to go by on the inside, but did just second guess that for a second. Barry, his teammate, getting on the dirt just a bit. Let's see if this is going to be a switch between Renault or not. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, if we have team orders for them or not here. I'm really not sure. But let's see who's the faster Renault driver, who's going to get out in front, because we're losing time, I think, to Mas Baron, the McLaren out in front of them, and they need to make a switch if needed here in order for the faster car to get ahead and try to catch up with the driver in front, so they're not actually holding up the rest of the grid. And but we'll see what decision is made between the two of them as they continue on through, because Lister is getting pretty close after Rob just behind there, and Rob is getting coming under a lot of pressure right now. He's gonna get overtaken if he keeps getting held up by his teammate. If he's getting held up, I'm not 100% sure, but let's see how it goes. And yes, nice snipper did snip off his front wing in that incident that happened earlier off. We got an issue with, not an issue, just a switch between Big Irish and Love Hate Games, but they're going side by side fighting it off for P12 here right now. Let's see if Love Hate Games can hold on to that position as he has it there right now. Currently takes the racing line and does get that position up. The McLaren of Big Irish trying to fight it back. We will have DRS advantage down the pit straight. Let's see if that's going to help him get by. But so far so good. We have a bit of switch happening out front as well with a few drivers, I think, there as they're fighting off for the positions, and McLaren is trying to take it on the inside and almost clips off his front wing, but he already lost a bit of a front wing from an incident from earlier off in the race, so he's still trying to fight it off for that position. A very close gap still. Let's see if he's able to get the position up as Lister here getting a pretty good go on the Renault in front of him. Definitely looking to get by right now. Unfortunately, not able to get an overtake done as yet. No damage on either of these cars, so they're good to go. Out in front, we're still keeping an eye on Crooksy and Johnny Stokes for the lead of the race as it is right now. It's going pretty well between the two of them. That gap is being very constant between just about half a second at least, and just keeping to that point and going through as we're following right now. Mas Baron here getting very close off to Lewis for P6 in that Mercedes, so let's see if he's able to hold off the McLaren behind for the rest of the race as it is right now. Currently on lap 7 going. We do expect about 2 pit stops from these guys who are running on the softs here. We'll see how that works out for them as they continue on in the race. We do have a few penalties handed out in the race so far. We'll see how that works out. The McLaren was looking for a move on the inside. Didn't actually attempt that. We just wanted to keep it safe running just behind Lewis's car there. So let's see how the rest of it goes on. Doiji following on the order. He's in the pits there right now, getting a change of tires, I assume there. Let's see how that continues on for him. So we're still following on with Mas Baron right now. He's still chasing after Lewis for that position there in 5th. And he's keeping a bit of a constant gap between the two of them. I think he almost lost the rear for just a split second there, but still going pretty well, pretty strong in the race so far. Let's see if the rest of this continues on through though. Okay, so in lap 8 still as we're going here right now. Still following on with Mas Baron and Lewis there in P5 and 6. Just to have an idea what's happening to the two of them. We got 2 cars. We got Barry and Lister going side by side here right now. Well, not side by side. Just behind of each other trying to get that position up. Let's see if the Mercedes is going to get it. And Lister takes it on the inside. Gets the position up before they actually get to that end of the almost to the straight there. But I think one of the McLarens pitted. And that was Barry in the pit. So this moves up Lister a position here right now. He goes up into 6th now at the moment. Currently, as we have it, we got race leaders have pitted. That's Prix and Johnny Stokes. They're out in 4th and 5th, back out on track here right now on the medium tires, and they're running. We got Darson into the lead of the race. Scotty now running a 2nd, and we got Lewis up into 3rd. Now, Prix is just under a 2nd behind Lewis, so he has on fresher tires now. He's definitely going to go try to get that position up very quickly, as he's already catching up and looking to get by already. Let's see how fast he's going to be able to get that overtake done with, and let's see if Lewis is going to fight him on this. Looks like he's not going to be able to. He might actually get this done before the chicane coming up here right now, and he's going to take it on the inside. And he will get that position up, back up into P3 now for Crooksy there, and Lewis down to 4 there. Not able to fight it with the Haas on fresh tires as he goes on through. 6.9 seconds is the gap towards Scotty out in front of him, who has to pit. Darson now in the pits right now. Scotty in the pits as well. This might be putting Crooksy back up into the lead of the race already as he gets around to the pit straight there right now, and he's going to take back the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix. And we got who's coming, Johnny Stokes comes behind him, takes 2nd place back once again. We got Lewis just behind the Alfa Romeo of Johnny Stokes right now. Let's see if he's able to actually get a position up on that, because remember, Johnny Stokes is on the fresh tires as well and going through, so going to be quite difficult to actually get an overtake done on that. Let's have a look at the rest of the grid as they get on through here right now. Lewis now running 2nd, Lister running 4th. Both Mercedes running pretty high up in this race so far as it is. Let's see if they can continue on that way. James now in 5th at the moment. We got Darson in 6th. We got Rob running in 7th right now. Scotty out in 8th position. Frank Efron running in 9th. Deutsche running in 10th. Maz Brown is running down there in 11th. Raceway in 12th. Barry in 13th. Now Jennifer 14. We got Lovehate Games in 15. Big Irish here 16 currently. Wooly in 17, and Night Sniper currently in 18th. And it's been quite interesting because we haven't had a single driver DNF this session so far, for the race session at least. So going pretty well in the race so far on lap 10 of 35. No safety car so far, just one VSC in this race as we've had it so far going through. And it looks like it's going to be dry all the way through. But Crooksy driving pretty well out front, getting back the lead of the race. Johnny Stokes taking back 2nd place just behind him, under a 2nd, so we'll have that DRS advantage as these go side by side. And looks like James gets up the position on Lister, splits the Mercedes between, and goes up actually into P3 here right now. So he finally gets onto a podium position back here, and Darson now up into P4. Lister down to P5 as we have it here. He's chasing after Darson, trying to get that position up. No damage on that car, but falling down about 2 positions there in just about a few corners as we got on through that lap. But James there, great overtake for him, getting up that position into P3. Darson following on and going up to P4. Does have a penalty though, as we'll have a look at the penalties in just a bit. But so far so good. And the other Mercedes that's Lewis there. He went into the pits, so that puts him down into P10. Johnny Stokes has a 3-second penalty out front, starting to feel some pressure actually by trying to catch up to Crooksy there. So that penalty is going to cost him maybe a position in the race, depending on how close P3 is going to be by the time we get to the end of the race. We'll see how that works out, but so far so good with the entire grid still racing on through, and we're following on with that. Let's see what else is going on down in the back here. We got Frank Efron chasing after Scotty for P6. Scotty doing pretty well because he's chasing after Lister in the Mercedes. He's trying to get a position up, and he's going to chase him down that straight. Looks like he wants to take it around the outside, and he's going to try to do that before we get to the Wall of Champions. He's going to be able to get it done. Gets the position up actually. Scotty gets a pretty good overtake, very cleanly done, and up into P5. No penalty so far in this race, and that's Lister down to 6. So far so good. And what's happening to Lister here right now? He's running along another position. He's getting back up right now, getting around the Red Bull. He's going side by side. The Red Bull's trying to pull it on the inside. And that is Frank Efron. Let's see if he's going to get that position up as he's still pushing on through, but takes back the racing line behind the Mercedes. Not able to push it through too much. Doesn't want to risk losing the position right now, as he's still going to chase him down though for that position in P6. Let's see if he's able to get it up. He's on about 2 or 3 laps fresher tires, and he's going to try to use that to his advantage as much as he can. Coming up on the DRS zone right now, using that advantage as much as he can here. Not using the overtake, just trying to keep that, I guess, for a little later on in the race when actually needed, and doesn't have the DRS. Oh, and Frank Efron gets another penalty there. Definitely going to be affecting him in this race just a bit there. Oh, she's good, gamer. She's doing pretty well. Okay, so let's continue on and see what's going to happen with the rest of the race here right now. Going back down at the bottom, let's go down to the bottom to Love-Hate Games right now. Chasing down Al Jodifa there in the, I think Williams in front of him. So let's see how that gap is going. So it has gone away just a little bit by the time he has switched on to him, but still going pretty good down there. And Frank Efron getting back pretty close up to Lister. We're going to switch back to that here right now and see what's happening with the two of them. It's getting pretty close up. They're going side by side through that section of the track there. And That's through turn 1, getting through turn 2 now. So far, Frank holds off. Lister now into P6 he goes and gets the position up. Let's see if he's able to hold on to that position. Lister is trying to fight it back, but I don't think he's going to be able to get it back right away. He has to hold it off into P7 at least for now. Out in front, Crooksy and Johnny Stokes still has that constant gap of half a second between the two of them. So they're driving pretty well. Looks like Lister might have gotten a little bit of better exit off of that turn there. And he's doing pretty well, keeping up with the Red Bull. But is he going to be able to... Is he going to be able to get that overtake back done? I'm not sure as yet. We'll see how that works out. But so far, so good. We're going down to Raceway there in 11th as he's chasing after Lewis for 10th position. The other Mercedes in the race. And let's see how well that battle is going to progress on through. Maybe later on, Gamer, when I do have when I get a new setup. The plan is to do that when I get a new setup, if needed. So we'll probably do that then. Because we'll have to get a camera and stuff set up for that, which is the plan, to get all of that. I will be getting all of that stuff. So once that's set up, we probably can do that then. Okay, guys, we got the Mercedes and the Ferrari going side by side. They get on through pretty well. Oh, and that is a Mercedes into the wall of champions. Takes a bit of damage off of that because he went a little bit too off on one. Yeah, I think he took some damage. I think I'm missing an end plate. Yeah, he did take some damage off of that. So that damage is going to affect him just a little bit in the race here right now. Was a good attempt though. They're trying for both cars to go side by side through that final chicane there, but very difficult to have that done without one car having a bit of an issue, as we have seen happen in this exact league in the past. We've seen two cars try to go side by side through that portion of the track, and I think we've had issues happen before, but that's usually how it goes. We're following on right now with Johnny Stokes here, who's in second place in this race, chasing after Crooksy there for the lead of the race, and let's see how that's going. It's a pretty close gap between the two of them. Of course, this is what it's been throughout most of the race as we've been going so far. And he has the DRS advantage, using a little bit of overtake when he can, and still not able to get past Crooksy here, but the gap has gotten a little bit closer here right now. But let's see if this is going to be done at any point in the race, if the guys are going to be doing another pit stop or not. But of course, Johnny Stokes does have that penalty to deal with, so that's going to affect his race quite a bit as they continue to chase each other around this track, and I think that's going to just continue on for now. But let's follow them for just at least maybe half a lap to a lap's time to see what's happening exactly with these two. They seem to be gaining and losing time in certain portions of the track, which is just keeping them at a constant half a second gap just between the two of them. So we do have Johnny Stokes having the DRS advantage on every single lap as he goes through. Of course, not really helping him out, but Crooksy is able to use his overtake if needed and actually get a bit of an advantage for himself there. So he does have that to use there as well. As I'm trying to follow on with the rest of the grid right now to see if there's a closer gap for us to follow here at the moment. Down to James here. He's under a second behind Darson, chasing down that Ferrari for third place in the race, sorry. But not able to get that up as yet. Let's go back down to Lister here, chasing after Frank here. And it's a pretty close gap between the two of them, but I think it's going to be a bit difficult still to get that overtake done. These two have been chasing each other around the track for quite a bit of a while now, going on through. And following on with Mads Barron here with the McLaren in P9, chasing after Doiji, and he's going side by side with the Red Bull here right now. Looks like he might get that position up as he takes away the lead of, goes up ahead of the Red Bull into P8. That's Doiji down to 9th here right now. And let's see if the Red Bull is able to get it back. He's still pretty close off just behind, but might not be able to get that overtake done. We got quite a few penalties on track here right now, which we're going to have a look at in just a bit as we're on lap 16 right now. We're starting to get to the halfway point of this race as we continue on through, and it's been quite interesting so far. Very clean racing from these guys so far as well. As we can see, as we still have all 18 drivers on track and racing at the moment here. I think these guys might be happy that Monaco and Azerbaijan are out of the way now, and they're going to focus on the bit more open circuits that we have coming up. So I think most of the drivers are probably looking forward to that as it is at the moment there. So let's continue on. Let's have a look down at the back here. Rob Sim Racer here, running in 15th in the Renault. He's chasing after Al Jolifa for 14th position. Gap is just under half a second. Let's see if he's going to take that anywhere, if he can get a position up or not. I'm going to follow him for just a bit to have a look. He's on the soft tires, fresh soft tires actually. Let's see if we can put that to some more sort of advantage, and he's getting much closer here right now as we can have a look. Let's see if he's able to get by the Williams of Al Jolifa, maybe get him a position into 14th on this grid. Let's see how that works out for him. gap starting to go down to a quarter of a second. He's going to be down the straight. He's taking it on the outside and going around. Have the DRS advantage, using overtake and really trying to get ahead. Does get up into 14th position and takes back the racing line. He's going to keep that position at least for now. Al-Jilfa is going to still chasing down. Oh, and cuts across the track there, getting a Rob gets a penalty as well on that one there. So what happened to make Al-Jilfa cut across the track, I'm not sure, but lost a bit of time. He's still going to try to catch back up as much as he can. Let's go back out front. I think let's have a look and see what's happening out front here with Johnny Stokes and Crooksy once again, as these two are still chasing each other around as they get through this part of the track. They're going side by side, and Crooksy still holds on to the lead though, not giving it up to Johnny Stokes as yet. Of course, Johnny still has that penalty to deal with going to the end of the race. They're on 9 laps currently running with these tires as they have it here, the medium tires, and they're on lap 18 of 35. So we still got about 27.5 laps left in, sorry, about 17.5 laps left in here. It's not 27, 17.5 laps left to go here. And we'll see how the next 17 laps go in the race, because they're looking pretty good for these guys here. Let's have a look at let's still have a look at Johnny Stokes still chasing after Crooksy. I don't think that gap is really going to go anywhere much between these two as they continue to chase each other around the track. Scotty there in P5 having a look at James there in P4 as James is trying to catch up to Darson as well. So let's have a look at that battle as it goes on through with these three cars as we have it here. They're chasing each other around. This is a fight for P3 at the moment, and Darcy is trying to hold on to that as much as he can there. Of course, James getting pretty close to Scotty, trying to keep up with the two of them right now to try to fight for that position as much as he can at the moment. So let's see how that's going to work through for him. So still a pretty close gap between these three as they get on through. They are using the DRS advantage, except for Darcy. He's not going to have any DRS advantage. Out in front, Crooksy and Johnny Stokes still chasing each other around the track as we have it. We got Frank front up into P10 out of the pits there right now on fresh medium tires, which probably he's going to go to the end of the race on those right now. We'll see how the rest of the grid shapes up, as they're going to have to do our second pit stop. Most of these guys here will have to do that second pit stop as well, and see how that's going to work out. Not sure if they're trying to wait for a safety car to happen on track here, but that doesn't seem any time possible soon that's going to happen. So they might have to just focus on taking their pit stops when the time actually comes. Let's have a look at Doiji here in P8 as he's chasing after Lister there for P7 right now. See how that battle progresses on through. We got Mass Baron with their McLaren out in front of these two. We can see him out front there, so they're trying to catch up with him right now and trying to get that position up. Barry gets another 3-second penalty, and really let's have a look at penalties as they are here right now. So those are penalties as they stand at the moment where they are. So we got Johnny and Darson both with 3 seconds of penalties. Mass Byrne has a 9-second penalties as well. As we can see, the rest of the grid having penalties, as well as Love Hate Games a nice number, quite a number there, 12 and 14 seconds, as well as Woolly Member to 9 seconds. Now 12 seconds of penalties. So we're having a look at that. Let's see how that continues on through though for the rest of the session there. And stop so far, it looks like Lister has not made a stop in this race because he started on the hard tires. Looks like he's possibly going for a 1 stop in this race, and it seems to be working out pretty well because he started actually, where did he start? Trying to have a look here right now. He started 4 positions down from where he is right now, so I guess he's gained a bit of time from that. Look, might be working for him, but of course he's going to lose positions when he does do that one more pit stop. Well, 1 pit stop that he's planning to do here. So let's see how that actually is going to work for him, because I'm not sure. Maybe it's going to work out pretty well, or maybe not. We'll have to have a look at that, how it goes. Because let's see, switching back up here, we're going to follow up here with James once again, because we still have this fight going on between him, Darson, and Scotty there for P3 in the race. And the three of them still are chasing each other around. So let's see if either of them can get the overtake done as they're getting back onto that back straight there in Sector 3. Not a lot of overtake on James's car there, so just a little bit as he's using his DRS advantage as much as he can. We got Scotty getting up very close behind James there as well. He's trying to get that position up if he can. Actually, probably trying to get 2 positions up if he can. James gets another penalty there. And Johnny Stokes into the pits there right now, doing his second pit stop. Let's see when Crooksy is going to do his pit stop, and might be doing it coming up on the next lap. We'll see how that works out. A 12-second gap between Crooksy and Darson there. Darson goes up into 2nd place. James up into 3rd. Scotty into 4th. Johnny Stokes up into 5th right now as he's getting back out on track, I think. And yep, gamer, this is actually a pretty clean league. Very, very clean drivers in this league, as that's why I keep streaming with these guys. Always some excellent, close and competitive racing happening with these guys here. So let's see what's happening here. I know Johnny Stokes doing the pit stop. He's back out in the P5. He was running second in the race. We got Crooksy still leading the race out front. Let's see if he's going to be doing a pit stop on this upcoming lap here or not. I'm not sure. I'm trying to have a look at that here right now to see what's happening, but I want to follow on with these three drivers as we have it, because they're still chasing each other around. Now, Johnny Stokes is down behind his teammate there, Scotty in P4. Let's see if those two drivers are going to do a switch, because Scotty does have to do a pit stop here again as well before we get to the end of the race. Oh, we got Crooksy, the race leader, into the pits right now. So he's going into the pits one lap after Johnny Stokes went in. So he's going to go into the pits. Let's see where he comes out back. Darson and Scotty into the pits as well. This is going to put Johnny Stokes back up a few positions. James Howell takes over the lead of the race, at least for now. Does have penalties. Johnny Stokes goes up into second place in the race here right now. And has about a 3.5 second gap towards James there out front. And let's have a look what's happening here right now, because Crooksy is trying to get by. And does he actually get that position up? No, he's still holding on to third place in the race, just behind Johnny here at the moment. So it looks like Johnny might have gotten a move done on Crooksy during that pit stop. That seemed to work out somewhat pretty well for him. But Crooksy looking to get by right now. It looks like he's going to get a position back up into P2. He goes right now. That puts Johnny down into P3. When James does his pit stop, these guys will be moving back up into P1, P2, as it was with the rest of the race that we had coming on so far. So let's see how the rest of the race will finish off here right now, because James is going to have to do a pit stop out front. We know that for sure. And Johnny Stokes finishes, Crooksy finishes. They're in P2 and P3. They're going to be taking back the lead of the race pretty soon, as Mass Baron is doing 13 laps on those hard tires right now. He might be able to push to the end of the race on those tires. I'm not sure if he's going to do another pit stop or not. We'll have a look at that and how he's going to work out. We got a car getting into the pits there. I think that is James Howell getting into the pits there right now. Crooksy goes back into the lead of the race. Johnny Stokes goes back into second place. And let's see where James is going to come back out on track, because I think Mass Baron might be trying to take over, and is he serving a penalty right now? Let's have a look where he is right now. I think he's having a bit of a glitch on his side, but he should be getting back out on track any second there. So let's see. Mass Baron now takes over P3. He's about 11.3 seconds behind Johnny Stokes. So still half a second a gap between our race leader Crooksy and the guy in second place, that is Johnny Stokes here. So these two are still going to continue on as it is there right now. Going back down all the way down to 12th place with Al Judifa here, and Raceway there in 11. Let's see what that battle progresses on through with the two of them. We still have penalties being handed out in this race. We got, I think, Rob into the pits there right now. That's the next Renault driver getting in. Is the next Renault driver? I'm not. Yeah, he is right now. What other close guys do we have? We got Doichi chasing after Lister there in the Mercedes. Let's see how that battle is going on through. His teammate Frank Efron is about 2.9 seconds behind, coming off down. Johnny Stokes looks like he might be getting a move done on Crooksy here. Let's see how that working out. Oh, he was the DRS advantage he was using, trying to get up as close as he can, which he does have once again, but not able to get his overtake done. Very difficult time he's having of getting by Crooksy here. Crooksy does have that speed, straight line speed, to get ahead, and is able to keep that lead from him. Following on right now with Mass Baron there in P4 as we have it. He's chasing after Darson, trying to get that position up if he can. We're on board right now with James Howell as he's trying to go side by side with McLaren of Mass Baron. Looks like he gets that position up. Almost some contact between the two of them, but nearly touching, but did not. Quite a clear overtake, but James got that position up into P4. Mass Baron is down to P5 and already about half a second behind. And he does have Scotty trying to get by him on the inside and does get that position up as well. The McLaren is down 2 positions right now. Scotty gets up P5. Mass Baron is down to P6. Those 15-lap old hard tires are starting to tell on him here right now. He might have to think about changing them because he's starting to lose some pace on track as it is here at the moment. going down to Frank Efron, does a switch with his teammate Doiji there, and they're going after the Mercedes here right now, trying to take it around the outside, the longer way around, and let's see what that's working out, because he actually got that position up, I think. Yep, he did. Frank Efron got up to P7, put the Mercedes between the two Red Bulls here right now, and really that's not a good place for him to be. He needs to get out of that right away if he can. Of course, the next Red Bull of Doiji is coming just behind and looking to get a position up here right now. Let's see if he's able to get the overtake done, because his teammate is getting out ahead by a few tenths already, and he's definitely looking for a gap to get by the Lister here at the moment. So Lister under some severe pressure here right now from Red Bull. One driver already got ahead, the next one is already looking to get by, and let's see how much longer he's able to hold on to that. Oh, he's going to hold on to a little bit longer, because Doherty loses the rear end of that car just a little bit and loses some time to Lister out in front. He's going to have to catch back up here right now. Lost about at least 2 tenths, but so far so good. And we got Lewis Young in the back. He's chasing after Big Irish here, I think it is, from P13. Let's see how that's going to go in just a bit as well. Out in front, we got Johnny Stokes and Crooksy still chasing after each other here. Still pretty close off, and let's see what's going to happen with these two, as I think this battle is going to continue on to the end of the race. We got about 10 laps remaining here right now, and we got a back marker just getting out of the way there with blue flags coming onto him. So these two are still going to chase each other around. Getting back down to Doiji there. Let's see what's happening right now. Going into the pits, BS behind Leicester right now. Matt Byrne getting into the pits there as well. All changing off their tires, and they're going to get back on track. Let's see how that is going to work out for them with strategy-wise. We're following on right now. Back again, once again, with Darson, James, and Scotty all fighting it off for P3 in this race, as they were before they took their last set of pit stops. And DRS advantage does go to James and Scotty here. Unfortunately, not to Darson. But he is on the podium at the moment, does have a penalty, as well as Johnny Stokes, so we'll see how that works out. Of course, Scotty here does not have a penalty, so he is looking pretty good of getting onto that podium if he can keep this going the right way. Let's have a look and see how this is going to work out. Pretty interesting view of the brake duct there. So still a pretty close gap between these three as they get on through. Darson starting to come under a lot of pressure right now from Scotty here, who's from whose car are we on? Oh, from James here, sorry, who's getting pretty close up. Scotty is actually falling back just a bit here. Speaking about that right now, he's a second behind, so he's lost a few tenths to these guys out front, so he's going to have to try and catch back up to that. Let's go back down to Lewis and Al-Judith going side by side, fighting for that position in P13 there right now. They got a Renault coming in between of them, trying to get around as well. That's Rob there in 15. Let's see if he's able to get a position up on these guys as well, as he's trying to get in on a battle. Rob has gotten in between the two of them, I think. And yep, he's gotten between. Pulls out Jolifer down to P15. Lewis is holding on to P13, and Rob goes up into P14 in the middle of these two cars who were fighting off for that position. And Rob is definitely looking to get by on the inside of Lewis here right now. Has on a bit fresher tires, and he's going to push on through. Takes the inside through turn 1, and a bit of contact between the two of them. That Renault loses it just a bit, and he's going to try to keep going here right now. Does catch it back. Doesn't take any damage. Fortunately, he doesn't take any damage. Unfortunate for a bit of incident though, but that was quite well controlled for both drivers there, for Rob trying to catch it back as well. Going back out front right now to Darson, who's lost the position to James here right now. So James has gotten the overtake done on Darson, getting down that straight before they get it off into the pit straight, and he's gotten up into P3 and put Darson down to P4. Of course, now Scotty's going to try to catch him up and try to get position up as well if he can here, because he does have quite a close gap. He's gotten back up to about half a second. Out in front, Crooksy and Johnny Stokes are still on the same old story at the moment. There's still about a half a second gap between the two of them, and they will probably go to the end of the race the same way as it is right now. Johnny Stokes, of course, does have that penalty as it is, so definitely going to affect his race. We only have 2 drivers in this race right now without any penalties, but the good side of it, we don't have any drivers DNFing this session right now. Every driver that started the race is still racing in here, which is actually great to see. So we're probably going to be seeing all 18 drivers finish this race as it is right now. We'll see how that goes, and that will be quite interesting to see as well. But let's get back out front and have a look at these two as they're chasing each other down. Gap is extremely close between them, but Johnny Stokes just having such a difficult time to actually get a gap, to get an overtake done on Crooksy there for the lead of the race. I think he would love it to actually finish and cross the line in P1, but he will not be able to keep it though. Even if that does happen, he will just be able to go across the line in P1, but will lose the position because of the penalty that he has. I think we might follow this battle all the way to the end of the race as it is here right now, because I don't think these two are going to be making any sort of changes getting on through. Getting them back down to Doherty here, chasing after the Ferrari of Raceway. They're trying to get up into 8th position in this race. So let's see how that battle is going on for him. Has a pretty close gap, as does Barry and Lister down just behind these two, fighting it off as well. Some very close contact between the two of them. I don't think any actual contact. Does that Ferrari have any damage? I really can't tell at the moment. We're trying to have a look at his front wing to see if he does have any damage on that car or not. As you can see, Doherty catching up pretty quickly here. Just way under half a second that gap is. So let's see if he's able to get that overtake done. So no damage on that Ferrari either, as they're chasing each other around here right now. Gap is starting to go a little bit higher up in front between Crooksy and Johnny Stokes for the lead of the race. But still pretty high up. So we'll see how that goes. And looks like we might have a switch happening between. Oh, definitely we have a switch happening. We have Darson taking back P3 in the race. James down to P4 and about to lose it to Scotty there, who's coming just behind of him. So a bit of a change. Somehow Darson has gotten the overtake back done on James. Took his position back. Put James back down to P4. Scotty getting very close up because of that switch between the two of them. And he's trying to get a position up here right now if he can. Still doesn't have a penalty in this race. So looking pretty good as one of two drivers who do not have penalties right now of getting on the podium. Let's see how it's going to work out for him. He needs to get ahead just a little bit more to try and keep it as close as he can right now to Darson to make sure he does get that position up into there. Of course, with a 17-second gap with Johnny Stokes between him and Darson, that's going to be Johnny Stokes still being able to keep second place in this race. Fortunately for him, because he does have such a big gap. And losing some time right now to Crooksy. I don't know if he has any damage to his car, but he is losing some time. 1.9 seconds is a gap right now between him and Crooksy. He might have just given up, or either that or he does have some damage on that car going through, because we're on lap 31 of 35 right now, approaching the end of this race very, very quickly as we're going here right now. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the race as we have it go by so far. I don't know if you guys are enjoying it. Please make sure you guys leave a like on the stream and do subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, guys. Really do appreciate the support and that you guys join on to watch the race there as well. And we're switching back down here to Doherty and Raceway to see how their gap is going and getting through right now. Big Irish and Rob there in for P12. Still a battle fighting on for that with the gap just being just under a second. We got a virtual safety car. Something's happened on track somewhere. I'm trying to figure out where that is right now, because I don't see any car out of the... Oh, and Woolly Mammoth is out of this race, unfortunately. And I think I see where that happened. We're trying to have a look here right now. He's gone off just in this section of the track. There he is on the wall there. I don't know if he had an incident with someone or if that was just on his own, because I think he had a bit of a gap. So might have been by himself. I'm not sure. But unfortunately, a virtual safety car on lap 32, well, lap 31, I think, of this race, because race leader just went across the line from make it lap 32. So unfortunately for that, that's going to cause a VSC. That's going to be over pretty shortly, though. I think you have a few pit stops happening with the cars down on the back of the grid because of that VSC as well. They might have had some damage. They want to repair or just get on to fresh tires to go to the end of the race and probably try to get fastest lap if they can. We'll see how that works for them. Unfortunately, we lost one driver from this race so far. So we were hoping to actually finish a race with all 18 drivers. Unfortunate that Woolly Mammoth is out. So we're going to have to finish a race with 17 drivers instead. Not too bad of a number to finish with, given that it's been quite clean for the entire race so far going through. So let's follow on with the rest of the grid as we have them here right now. We're currently on lap 32 and running in this race for the Canadian Grand Prix here. And we still got Crooksy. Oh, actually, it's quite interesting. We got Crooksy with a penalty here right now. So let's see what's happening out front with penalties. So Crooksy now has a 3-second penalty. We got Johnny Stokes having a 6-second penalty. Darson has a 3-second penalty. James Owl has a 6-second penalty. And the only driver in this race without any penalties is still Scotty there. That's a good job on him so far. Hopefully he takes it all the way to the lap 35 with no penalties. And that's going to put him quite a few positions up in this race. If he's able to actually finish that there, he's going to end up in P3, I assume, with that kind of finish. So not sure what happened exactly out front to cause Crooksy to have that penalty, but he does have quite a gap. He has a 3.1 second gap on Johnny Stokes. So even if Johnny didn't have a penalty, it still would stand a pretty good chance of still finishing on pole here for the race. But let's see how that works out. So far, so good with the drivers as we have. We're still following on with Darson, James Owl, and Scotty here. But mostly with Darson and James Owl right now on lap 33 as we get on through, as these two are still pretty close off and chasing each other around. And it was quite interesting to see that Crooksy didn't get a penalty by after being chased after by Johnny Stokes for so many laps of this race. And then finally, when they actually had a gap between the two of them, that's when he actually got the penalty. So that's quite interesting to see. But let's see how they finish up the race, because so far so good. Crooksy is looking pretty well at getting P1 in this race there. And currently, I think our race leaders have entered into lap 34, guys. So far, so good in this race. We're still following on with James Al in P4, chasing after the Ferrari of Darson there. He's really trying to get that position up. They didn't have a switch at one point in the race. Unfortunately, Darson got the position back up, and he's still running there P3. We'll see how these penalties play out. Let's switch over to penalties as they are right now, so we can see what's going to happen. So between Darson and James Al, looks like they will be keeping their positions. Of course, they'll be both losing their position to Scotty. So that's going to be Crooksy finishing on pole, Johnny Stokes finishing in second place in the race. And he needs to be careful because he has a 16-second gap to the car behind and 9 seconds of penalties. Now Darson is he looks like he's going to finish down in 4th. James is going to finish 5th. Scotty's going to take over 3rd. And let's see what Frank Efron looks like. He's going to take 6th. And Maz Barron might be actually losing that position to Raceway, even though he's 17 seconds down because of a 20-second penalty. That's going to be a switch between the two of them, and we can see what's going to happen in the rest of the grid there as well. So let's see where our race leader is here right now. Crooksy here. He's about to enter. Oh, and we got Dorji at DNF in the session. What's happened to his car? I'm not sure. It's happened in Sector 1 there. Let's see if we can have a look as we got Crooksy beginning the final lap of the Canadian Grand Prix here right now, and that's probably just going to be yellow flag. Barry spinning around there, losing the rear on the Renault. Dorji into the wall, I guess, and loses that car on the very final lap of the race, and that's going to be him out of the race there. So that's going to be two drivers out all the way close to the end of this. We were having such a perfect session going on so far. Anyway, that yellow flag is over and we're back racing again. So we're following on with Crooksy here right now as he's on his final lap around Canada and about to take P1 in this race. Unfortunately taking away the penalty, but still a pretty good race for him. Has led majority of the laps in this race so far. Started right there on pole and he's going to finish right there P1 as well. So looking pretty good in this race here. Some really good points for his team, for the Haas team there. I think his teammate Love It Games is down there in 16th position right now. So unfortunate for that, but he's still going to be getting some pretty good points as he's about to get around the final chicane here right now to get onto that pit straight. And we'll get across the line here, and he's going to be taking P1 for the Canadian Grand Prix for round 9 of 22. Does take it there, goes across the line. So good job on him for getting that position and getting that race win there. We got Johnny Stokes finishing on the grid in 2nd place, and he's going to keep that position. And unfortunate for Darson, he's going to be going across the line P3. James out behind him will go across the line P4. Scotty will go across the line P5, but a switch will happen. We're going to have Scotty onto 3rd place, onto the podium here for Canada. It should be. Let's see by the time Scotty gets across where he goes, and does go across there. Actually goes up to P4 because of the gap that they had there. So quite interesting to see that Darson actually holds on to P3, the podium position. Scotty only gets up to P4. James gets up P5. Frank Efron gets 6th in this race. Maz Barron gets 7th. And we got Raceway is going to get 8th. Lister is going to get 9th. Rob is going to get 10th. Looks like 11th for Lewis. Jennifer gets 12. Barry gets 13. Big Irish gets 14. And looks like Love Hate Games is going to get 15th position there. And I'm not sure if a switch will happen with Doiji and Night Sniper there because he's quite a way back in the race. I think he might have to just stay in that position. But we'll have a look as the final race results come up in just a bit. So let's have a look at that and what that's going to be like, because I think that's it is there right now. So quite a great race there, guys, from Rapid Pixel Racing GP2 division for round 9 there. And congratulations to Crooksy there for getting the race win, and Raceway here for getting driver of the day. Let's see who got fastest lap in this session as we're about to get to our final results here right now. Okay, so let's have a look at our results as it is. for this race and what exactly happened there in terms of penalties. I think Scotty was the only driver not getting a penalty. Yep. So congratulations, Scotty, I gotta say, for not getting any penalty in this race. Crooksy takes the win for the Canadian Grand Prix. We got Johnny Stokes finishing in second. Darson finishes third. Scotty finishes fourth. No penalties, so great job on him for doing that. And good job for the three drivers finishing on the podium. That's Crooksy, Johnny Stokes, and Darson there. James Al getting fifth in the race. Frank Efron getting sixth. Raceway getting seventh. And driver of the day, Masburn, finishes eighth on the grid and gets the fastest lap in this session as well. Lister there finishes ninth. We got Rob finishing in 10th, Lewis finishing 11th, Aljudifa finishes 12th, Barry Burks finishes 13th, we got Big Irish in 14th, Love Hate Games in 15th, Doiji 16th, Night Snapper 17th, William Amadare in 18th as it is. And that's the end of this session here, guys. So thank you guys for joining on to the session. Please remember, guys, to leave a like on the stream. And remember, if you're new onto my channel here, make sure you guys subscribe, because we do have multiple races during the course of a week, guys, as you know it is. And remember, guys, there's going to be absolutely no race stream for tomorrow. That's Saturday. We get on straight to Sunday, and we got 3 race streams, one after the other, starting from 6 p.m. British time. So that's gonna be like 1 p.m. Eastern time for me. So look forward to Sunday for the next 3 streams that we have happening, guys, and we go forward on from there. So thank you guys once again for joining on the session. Love having you guys on. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Make sure to leave a like on the stream. I'm saying it once again, guys. Just literally takes a second to do it. So make sure you guys leave a like before you head off on stream, and I'll see you guys on the next stream on Sunday there.